guys, it's Alicia. Today I am going to be making some candy corn white chocolate pudding cookies. Now for all my Weight Watcher people out there, this is definitely not a Weight Watcher recipe, so sorry about that, but I had a ton of candy corn left after the stuff that I bought to do my candy corn cake. And so I thought it would be fun to make up some candy corn cookies. I know my son will love them, and I'm gonna try to give away the rest of them so that my husband and I don't eat them all. But sometimes you just wanna make something that's not Weight Watcher friendly, or you know, your kids or other people. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. So I'll jump in here and show you what you're gonna need to make these. Okay, so first off, what you're gonna need is some candy corn, and then you're gonna need some white baking chips. You're gonna need a 3.4 ounce box of instant pudding and pie filling in vanilla flavor. Here I've got 3/4 cup light brown sugar, and then here is a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. You're gonna need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and here I have 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon salt. Over here, I've got 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 eggs, and 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter that you want softened. And that is all you're gonna need to make these. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my butter, and I'm going to cream that together with both of my sugars. So I'm gonna mix these together on a medium speed for probably 1 to 2 minutes, or until those are nice and creamed together. That is nice and creamed together. So now I'm gonna add in my vanilla and my pudding mix. And I'm gonna just mix this all together until it's all incorporated. That looks good. So now I'm gonna take my eggs and add them 1 at a time, and then just beat them in until those are incorporated. And I like to knock the sides down while I'm doing this, just to make sure that this gets all mixed well. That looks good. So now over here, I'm gonna take my flour, and I'm gonna add in my baking soda, powder, and salt. And I'm gonna mix those together real well. Okay, I've got that mixed together, and I've got some on the counter, flung everywhere like I always do. I'm the messiest cook, I swear. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm going to add it to my wet ingredients here. And I'm gonna just kind of slowly mix this in until it's all incorporated. You don't wanna overmix this. So, like I said, I'm gonna just kind of slowly mix it in here. And then once I have it to where there's no dry showing anymore, I'm gonna call that good. All right, now I'm gonna add in probably about a 1/2 cup of the white chocolate chips. You can do as many or little as both of these as you want. But I'm gonna do about double of the candy corn. So a cup of candy corn and a 1/2 cup of the white chocolate chip. And then I'm going to just kind of fold these in. So now what I'm doing is I'm just taking this ice cream scoop and scooping up a little bit of that dough. I want about 2 to 3 tablespoons, and then I'm gonna just kind of roll that in a ball. Then I'm gonna set that on this plate I've got over here. Now typically when I do these pudding cookies, I just bake them right away, but they end up being kind of flat, so I figure this time I will freeze the dough for 15-20 minutes or so, or just stick the dough in the freezer, I should say, for 15 or 20 minutes and get the dough nice and kind of chilled, and then hopefully that will help keep these from flattening out so much. So I'm gonna roll all these up and then I will be back. I've got those all rolled out, so now I'm gonna just take these and stick them in my freezer for, like I said, 15-20 minutes just to get them nice and chilled. And then while those are in the freezer, I'm gonna go ahead and get my oven preheating at 350. Okay, I let these sit for about 15 minutes or so, and they're definitely chilled. So now I'm gonna take them and I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet. And since these do have candy corn in them, you wanna kind of make sure there's no candy corn visible on the bottom, because if it touches this pan, it's gonna kind of melt and make a really big mess. So if you see any visually through the bottom, you just wanna kind of push them back up. So I'm gonna sit these on here a couple inches apart. So like this one's got a little piece of candy corn. I'm gonna just kind of cover that with dough a little bit, push it over. Okay, I've got these all laid out on my cookie sheet. And while these are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and put the remaining ones back in the freezer to keep them cold. But I'm gonna bake these at 350 for about 10 minutes, somewhere in between 9, 11 minutes or so. But I will be back once they are done. Okay, I let these cook, and this is my second batch actually. I let these cook for about 11 minutes. And as you can see, some of that candy corn has gotten out, touched the pan. And I would say that if I make these in the future, I'm not gonna put the candy corn inside, because even though I was trying to be careful about keeping the candy corn covered with the dough, some still leaked out and then you get this big mess. So in the future, I would just put the candy corn right on top, either before you bake it or after. So I'm actually gonna stick some of these on top of some of these right now. And here I've got them on a plate. And these ones on top are the ones that I did just stick the candy corn on top of. And like I said, I would just do that in the future. I think it just melts too much and makes too big of a mess when you put it inside the batter, because it's too hard to kind of contain those candy corn in the dough. So I would just suggest doing the white chocolate chips inside the dough and then sticking the candy corn on top like this. But yeah, they taste delicious. They just turned out a little bit messy, some of them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.